Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today, we're going to be talking about NIO. Before I start the video, guys, please make sure to leave a like on the video below. Subscribe to the channel for more awesome content. Join the family, guys. Let's go on our investing journey together. So today, let's talk about NIO. What's going on with NIO and why did NIO go down 2% today? As you guys know, if you don't know, NIO is an EV company based out of China. They produce luxury EV cars, pretty similar to what we know here as Tesla. Obviously, Tesla being a well-established brand has really started to expand all over the globe, but people are expecting the same for NIO. People really putting NIO to its expectations, really seeing if NIO can be the next Tesla. I know people out there already say that NIO is not going to be the next Tesla. That's not what I generally mean, but I basically mean that is NIO going to be the next top EV company? And we've actually had a lot of news about NIO, and it's just awesome because I love stocks that really just always keep us up to date. Really what's going on. As you guys know, we're going to look at the 5-year chart. NIO IPO'd September 12th of 2018, currently up 666%. Looking at the 1-year chart, currently up 1,775%. I've said this time and time again that I do think NIO is the biggest growth stock of 2020. It has seen a lot of growth this year. The fact that this stock was trading around $4 a share at the beginning of the year, now currently evaluated bigger than General Motors, it really says a lot about the merit of NIO and really that it really just put itself on the radar. A lot of investors are now noticing NIO, even big time investors, Goldman Sachs, Bank of America, Deutsche Bank, JP Morgan, and a lot of analysts as well have come out and said some great things about NIO. Looking at the 3-month chart, currently up 155%, and the 1-month chart, we're actually down 19%, down $11. So what's really been happening with NIO? As we've seen earlier in the months, we did get a good look at the November deliveries and NIO's earnings earlier in November. As expected, NIO did do very well on their earnings, beating their expectations by about 100%, taking a little bit of dive into their earnings. We did see with obviously the quarter was not profitable and NIO is still operating at a loss. For a little disclaimer, just for a little explanation, when a company operates at a loss, it means that the company is generally not making money. That's not always necessarily a bad thing because companies, when they're starting out, are not always going to make money. For example, let's look at Tesla. Tesla didn't see a profitable quarter for 15 years. And it's still around and it's growing more than ever. But we did see NIO operating at a loss and, but the good news is NIO's losses are starting to shrink while their profits are starting to grow. NIO's already expecting $960 million in revenue by the next quarter. And it just goes to show, that NIO in itself is really starting to grow a lot, more than really what people can actually keep up to. No one really expected NIO to grow 1,775% year to date. I mean, it's just really astounding. With other news, though, we did get Goldman Sachs, who did a big analyst upgrade on NIO from $7 all the way up to $56, a 666% analyst upgrade. Absolutely amazing. I mean, when you have big time analysts like Goldman Sachs, Bank of America, JP Morgan, all throwing analyst upgrades on NIO stock, it goes to show that they are also starting to get a little bit more bullish about the stock. NIO coming out, basically branding itself as the Tesla of China. It's really started to expand. And the thing is, what I love about NIO the most is really its ability to use technology to make its creation super, super innovative. On top of that, though, we also have analysts who are saying, NIO is going to be an iconic brand, a top EV company in itself, and NIO has really, truly proved that so far. I mean, NIO is expanding like crazy. The fact that the company in itself was founded in 2016 and it's been able to come this far, it shows a lot of merit about NIO. And obviously, Tesla is starting to expand to China, which does bring me to my other huge catalyst, in my opinion, is that, NIO is producing 2 new sedans, an SUV, and a minivan to be able to compete with Tesla's expansion in China. Obviously, Tesla being a more established brand, it does have the upper hand on NIO, but NIO does not want to stop fighting. It wants to be the top EV company in China. The fact that NIO's going to be able to produce all these new vehicles just to be able to compete with Tesla, stay in the game, it goes to show that not only is NIO upping up its competition, but it's also making vehicles that appeal to every person out there, right? An electric minivan is going to better suit someone who has a lot of kids, who play sports and stuff like that, versus also giving the luxury aspect of it all. It's brilliant and it's really, really innovative. We do have NIO Day coming up November 9th. It's a long awaited day. A lot of people are waiting on NIO Day. It's basically going to be showcasing what NIO actually has in store. I think they're going to show the ET7, which is the new sedan that NIO is actually going to be dropping. I'm super excited to see it. Earlier in November, we did get a look that NIO was going to be dropping a 100 kilowatt battery. As you guys know, another big catalyst is the battery power when it comes to EV cars, because a lot of them don't really carry a sufficient charge. A lot of them basically only have like a 300 or 400 mile range, and that's too little for you, especially if you want to go somewhere far. You always have to stop and charge, and it's very inconvenient to some people. But NIO being able to counteract that, now dropping a 150 kilowatt battery, which I think we're also going to be seeing on NIO Day on January 9th. I'm super excited for that day. It's really going to be showcasing us where NIO is going to be headed over the next couple of years. I'm very, very excited to actually see how NIO Day actually plays out and the expectations that the company is really going to be bringing. For me, I'm also excited that, NIO's also working on a self-driving chip as well. The very importance of this is really just another big catalyst for NIO. And it really showcases its ability to basically be innovative, right? Self-driving chip is going to be a huge catalyst, not just for NIO, but for the whole EV game itself. Self-driving chip, obviously meaning that the cars can drive on autopilot without anybody willing to have to control the vehicle. This also does roll into what NIO actually plans to do with that, and that is the robo-taxi delivery service they plan on making in China. Now, with recent news, we have seen Apple. They're also working on self-driving cars as well, which does up the competition. Apple being a humongous company, definitely going to raise the competition, raise the bar for NIO. So I really hope that NIO can come through on that. But the thing is as well, and I know we've also had some, decent news for NIO as well, as far as public stock offering. The reason I say decent is because that could be viewed as a positive and a negative. Obviously, NIO planning to expand as fast as possible and wants to continue to grow, so they need to raise capital. NIO did a public stock offering of 68 million shares, being able to raise about $2.5 billion in capital. And NIO, with plans to expand in 2021, they want to expand to Europe. We have seen news that XPeng actually has already started selling cars in Norway, which is just absolutely insane. It's a big stepping stone for the EV market, especially in that side of the world. Living here in the United States, we've seen basically a Tesla takeover. I mean, Teslas are just absolutely everywhere, but the fact that the EV market is really growing in that area, it goes to show, that, that part of the world is starting to experience the true EV power. And, studies show that 25% of all car sales are going to be electric cars by 2025. And they expect that number to jump all the way up to 50% by 2035. So it goes to show that the EV market is really starting to mature. There's just simply more demand for the EV market, which makes a place for NIO. My personal opinion on NIO, I do think NIO is going to be a top EV company. I think the price we see here, the $45.98, truly undervalued. I don't think that NIO is going to go any lower than it is here. I think NIO is going to actually go up. You guys have seen my price predictions on NIO. I still think NIO is going to be a $300 stock probably in the next 2 to 3 years. And I do think NIO is going to hit $100 in the year of 2021. This is all my opinion, guys, so it's not fact. So you guys don't have to blow up my comments about, it's just my opinion. It's just my guesstimate opinion. I've seen a lot of growth for NIO alone. If I told people, when NIO was trading at $3 a share, that this thing was going to be a $50 stock at one point, probably not a lot of people would have believed it. And people said the same about Tesla. Tesla was going to fail. Tesla wasn't going to make it. And look at it today. It's a humongous company, continues to grow in the S&P 500. I mean, it's really set an example, as so many bears were so bearish on that stock, and it ended up just being an absolute empire. But NIO's actually also seen some bad news as well. As you guys know, Chinese stocks have actually been getting a lot of heat recently. In the United States, we did pass a bill that basically said that if Chinese companies do not abide by auditing guidelines by the United States, then basically the companies are going to get delisted from the NASDAQ. I don't think that NIO is going to get delisted from the NASDAQ in itself, but it does propose a caution that if NIO doesn't want to abide by the precautions that the United States are taking, then they could basically delist the stock itself. It did send some people into a scare. It did lead some people to sell into a stock. That was obviously being XPeng, NIO, Alibaba. And today we actually got news that Alibaba actually has a probe on it as well. I think it's a monopoly probe. I didn't read too much into it, but I know that usually when it's anything involved with the Chinese stocks, it really just causes the whole Chinese stocks to kind of sink, along with the ETFs as well, which is probably why NIO is down 2.64% today. Me personally, Alibaba, people are saying it's a monopoly. I don't really see how that actually affects NIO in itself. I think NIO is a great company. I think NIO is worth the investment at $45.98. I still think NIO is going to do great things in the year of 2021. I mean, we've seen the results. We've seen the deliveries. The company is growing. The company is growing very, very fast. And a lot of people really can't pinpoint why the company is. But for me, I've said this time and time again, look at how many companies that are EV that IPO'd this year alone. There's Nikola, there's Hyliion, there's so many out there because they see the profitability, they see the opportunity that battery power is really going to carry us into the next generation. I think NIO is going to be a great company. It already is. I think it's going to be a top EV company. Even if NIO were to get delisted, I still would invest in the company because the way they're handling things and the way they're representing, good guidance from the CEO, and just they have a vision, and this vision is just absolutely humongous, and it really just makes me truly, truly bullish on the stock itself. I think people should buy NIO stock at $45.98. Obviously, everything I say in my video is not financial advice. It's just my personal opinion, but I think NIO is an actual steal at this price, $45.98. I think the company is going to really pinpoint and set its growth. It's in 2021. I think it's going to be a big year for NIO. I think it's going to be a big year for the EV market change. I think it's going to be a big thing for all these EV companies because EV is starting to grow, and I think people are truly going to see the power of how these big EV companies were able to grow in the midst of a pandemic while other companies were not doing so well. Goes to show the merit that, a lot of people are really riding on this battery power because battery power is so universal. You can put it in almost anything. You can put it in cars, you can put it in trucks, you can put it in vans, and you can be so innovative with it. And with the technology that we have in 2020, it's so advanced that, these autopilot cars, and it's not out of reach for us. It's not out of reach for people to be working on these self-driving chips and these autopilot features. With that being said, that's all I really have to say about the video. Let me know down in the comment section below, guys, what you think of NIO stock. Do you think NIO stock is a buy at $45.98? Do you guys think NIO will be the next Tesla? If you guys own NIO stock, how many shares do you guys own? What's your average? I'm always very curious to know. With that being said, thank you guys. Have a great day.